All right, everybody, we're not going to look at this today, or this, or any of the other stuff down here. What we're going to look at now instead is the Double Alpha Academy Primer Pro in all its glory. So we have the primer tube right here, which is a little hard to remove when I'm trying to run the camera. It's got a magnet mounted on the top of it, so it locks into place. Give it a little half turn. So we got our chute that comes down to the hammer that lines things up so that the primer just drops straight into the tube, doesn't have an opportunity to turn sideways. And then, of course, the bowl with all the primers in it. The ring around the bowl that makes the hammer go tick, 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 which you'll see in a moment. And these primers are actually the Genex primers, which I had problems with when I first tried running them in the machine, because they are dirty, dirty, dirty primers. They leave a fine yellow dust behind after you use them in whatever primer system you have, be it the collator on the Mark 7 or the handheld Frankfurt Arsenal. In the Dillon tubes, they leave behind a bunch of debris as well, so you have to run pipe cleaners and Q-tips through. So after some suggestions from Saul, I use some Pledge to lubricate the drop path here as well as inside the bowl where the primers feed into the ring. So without any further ado, let's see what happens. All right, I have to reset it. I forgot. Just hold on. There we go. It's freaking magic. So it counts the primers, and you'll usually end up with maybe 99 or 101 primers being fed into the tube. I have yet to have an upside down one with the Genex. I have had one upside down one with the Federal. That was after running about 8,000 Federal primers. I had one upside down one. And I've been testing this thing since I got it, just playing around with it, seeing what it likes. All right, so there we go. It's counted. Let's see what that looks like in the tube. I don't know if you can actually see that. It's going to be kind of hard, but it looks to me to be very close to 100 primers, which is exactly what you want. Due to the way the primers slide down the chute, it could be, like I said earlier, it could be 99, 98, 97, or it can be 101, 102. The idea is you don't want to get 110 primers because then it won't fit into the tube, and when you remove the tube, a bunch will spill out on the floor. So because of the way they slide down, if two slide down really close together, sometimes they're counted as one, that kind of thing. So this has been running now. So what have I done? I think I've done 2,500 since I put the Pledge on it, and it seems to still be nice and slick and lubricated. Primers feeding through the system, no problem. And yeah, I am very impressed by this thing. I know some people have had some issues. Saul's been addressing it. There's a second plate that got sent out to help deal with some of the primers that were thinner than what they initially tested with when they first made this. And I haven't had to use that plate. I've been using S&B, Federal, and Genex primers, and they all work really good with the first generation plate. Mine does have the improved slide or ramp or whatever you want to call it. If you look when that light flashes, you can see just a little bit of cuts, I think there's 6 across or something like that. That's to help reduce the friction as well by just having slices down the ramp. So it's not a solid plastic ramp. It's got little cuts in it. And yeah, so one upside down primer and oh man, I don't know, total of about 20,000 primers I've tested through this thing. And like I said, I cleaned it about 2,500 primers ago, I think is what it was. So yeah, Double Alpha Primer Pro, for those of you that have tubes on your reloading machines, this thing is awesome. And I love it.